Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the week 10 of the Joy of Computing using Python, the live interactive session. I am Vikas, a PhD scholar in IDRP Space Science and Technology at IIT Jodhpur. This is something about me. This is the website with more details, and this is the classroom code where you can join, get the resources, as well as have some discussion amongst you. The common schedule is Tuesday 6 to 8 p.m. and this is the link that we use to join every time. And all the recording of these sessions are available on the YouTube channel mentioned there. So moving forward, if anyone have some questions specific to something learned in this week, you can ask. And please try to ask in by unmuting yourself and asking questions because I will not be checking the messages during class. So anyone? I'm audible?
Yes.
Okay. Anyone with any specific questions, you're free to ask. Otherwise, we will move forward with problems. So let's come to problem 1. Okay. What is the output of the code? S equals to, hello everyone.
So option D will be the correct.
Yeah, what are you saying?
So the last option. Option D.
Saroj, Saroj, you were also saying something, I think.
Yes, sir. Option D will be the right answer. Yes.
Yeah. So S dot lower. Have we discussed this ever that what are the methods used on the strings? Lower, upper, title, and these things. Remember in one class, we discussed all of this, that how we can convert string to uppercase, lowercase, as well as title case, like having capital letter at the first of every word, right? So
2 or 3 weeks ago.
yeah, 2-3 weeks ago we discussed it. So here what it will do, it will convert it into lowercase, and that also everything, and spaces and other things will remain as such. So D should be the correct answer. Let us check. Mhm. Yeah. Is the screen visible? So if we run this, it is hello dot everyone. And how can we make it uppercase?
S dot upper.
S dot upper bracket
S
open close.
dot upper bracket open close. And in this case, uh, is the S being changed or not?
S is not changing.
S is not changing. And
No sir, S is
how?
not changing.
Yes. So if we see S, actually it will remain the same. And what if we want to change S? Then what should be done? If we want to change S to lowercase, suppose, how can we do that?
So then we have to write S equal to S of lower bracket open close.
S dot lower, right? Then it will change. So since here only the display is occurring and the assignment thing is not occurring. So in line 4, we will see that actually S is printed as it is, but whereas when we will print in line 6, we are saying that it had changed, and this is because we have assigned it. Fine. Any doubts in this?
No, sir.
Great.
No, sir.
So D is the correct answer, and so we can move forward. Now let's come to problem 2. What will this return? Type 9. Have you used this keyword type anywhere before this?
Int.
I can't recall, sir.
Okay. Type we have never used.
Yes,
In the
type of data type list.
list and
So actually, it returns class within quote int.
and yes, that is what was my next question. So when we are typing this, though it will return that it is int, but it will say class int, something like this, right? So it is saying that it is from the class int. Then what is class? Anyone here? What is class here? When we are writing for a list, for
Collection
that
of
case also,
objects.
yes, for that case also we were writing class, class list, class tuple, like this was the output, right? Every time we are getting this. So what is a class? Anyone?
Collection of objects.
Collection of objects, okay. Then what is object? Yes. If we are asking, if we are saying that it is collection of objects, then what is an object?
Sir, instance of a class.
Then how you are defining it? Because when asked about class, you are saying object. When you asked about object, you are saying class. Anyone?
Everything is an object. It's like a list. There are objects set.
Yeah, that is very clear that it everything is an object. But what is an object? Like how you can define an object if you say in that sense? Object or not object specifically. I am saying what is class?
Consist of a collection of functions.
Functions. Then why don't we call it as function? Why not class?
We group the functions into one class.
Okay, so if we have multiple functions, we group it as class. So how integer becomes a function? Anyone?
Can be termed as categories of objects.
It's categories of object or definition of objects, right? Then comes object. What is an object? So any instance that we are saying, like you can say it is class is the definition, very similar to function, but not always a function. It can be the definition of what will be the type of data. Okay, so and with in Python, certainly this is something that everything is a class. In many other programming languages, this base data types are classified as basic, compound, and class. Right there, this integer, float, binary, these will be considered as basic data type. When they are combined together, in the sense integers, a list array of integers becomes an array and these things. But when you are combining integer, float, and different things with different functions, then it becomes a class. In case of other programming languages like C, C++, not C, C++, and but in case of Python, everything from the basic definition itself, it is a class. So integer also is considered a class. Float also is considered a class. List, tuple, dictionary, sets, everything is considered a class. And that is why here the assignment is quite easy. Here, if you are defining a variable as integer, like if it is containing an integer at first, it can um, contain float after some calculation, and there will be no issue, no problem at all. But whereas in case of C++, other programming languages, there you will see that actually, if you have defined something to contain an integer, you cannot put a float, a decimal number there. And if you have defined it as a float number, you cannot put an integer. It will have to be converted to decimal. Okay, so this thing has been removed using by defining everything as class here. That is why when we use the type function, type is something very common in throughout the programming languages to know the type of the data that we have. Okay, and this type keywords actually uh, returns the type of uh, type of the data. But here, since all the data are considered as class, and then the name of the class, that is why we see it as class and then int, class tuple, class list, like that. So in this case, since 9 is an integer, it will return as int. So let's see this. Clear or any confusion in this? Okay, if I put a print, then it will put that. Since remember, I said once that by the virtue of being at the last line, the output will be displayed. But to display it properly, you will have to put it inside a print. So when we are putting it inside a print, it is showing the proper thing, class int. Sorry, I showed it somewhat like this. No, it is class and then int. Okay. So what if we put? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. You are getting it, or any confusion in this?
Sir, actually, I can't get what is class.
Okay. See, class certainly is not covered here. Class is something when we talk about object-oriented programming. Okay. And by definition, when you see that, when people say, or generally when we learn in case of our general education, that we say that Python is an object-oriented programming language. C is a procedure-oriented programming language. C++ is object-oriented programming language. But whatever we did till now, or whatever we are doing, this is not object-oriented programming. Okay, this is simply procedure-oriented programming where algorithm matters. But when we are focusing more on objects, okay, like then we create class. Objects are, in the sense, you can say class is something like definition of a set of rules for a specific type of data. Like if I create a class of maybe class of students, let's say, okay, a class called students, okay, with this function, with this property, that it every uh, object, like every student in a class, what will be the properties? Like what things you will want to know from that? Not want to know. Let me put it like this. Yeah. Let's say we are creating a class student. Class, don't confuse it with the class. Okay. The class in our general sense, but say we are creating a class of student. Student is our main end. Instead of end, it will be student. Okay. So what values we will store for a student? Anyone?
Alphabets.
Student ID, student roll number, name.
Yeah. Name, ID, age, let's say.
Yes,
Okay.
contact number.
Address,
Yeah.
mobile number,
Yeah.
blood group.
Address. Let's not go into that much details. I'm putting for simplicity. Okay. We can have a lot of things. Okay. So in this case, what will happen is that we say that for every student, okay, there should be a name. There should, this is our definition. We are defining a class called student. Okay. Name, ID, age, address. Okay. And name, what will be the type of the name? It will be fully alphabets. Like it will be a string,
String.
right? It will be a string. And ID, we say let it be a number. For now,
Alphanumeric.
yeah, or for simplicity, let's put it as numbers only. Okay. So we are saying it as integer. Okay. Age will be integer. Address will be string.
String.
Okay. Yeah. So things like this. Now, when we are going to use this class student, we cannot use the whole class. Okay. Because it is a definition. Okay. So we will say like student S1, something like that. Okay. Student S1 equals to, let's say, mm, Suraj. Okay. So Suraj becomes the name. Okay. Then ID, let's say 4, age, let's say 12, let's say, um, and then. So the definition, this one is the class. Okay. And this one is an object, S1. Okay. This means uh, it derives, this object is derived. I'm not going in details. I'm just explaining to make it easier. Object is
So
derived from the
class
class.
contains many objects.
Class is the definition. A single uh, class can be used to create as many objects as we need.
Yes, sir. Yes.
It will
So,
not
sir, it's
contain
like a
them.
structure in C.
Yes, structure in C. But C was actually not made to have these things. C was not made for object-oriented programming. That is why you see in case of C, we have limitations like abstraction, polymorphism. There are a lot of things that are not available there. And that is why C++ was made, which contained these things. And it was very easy for people to have this thing like parent class, child class, and these things. Will not go that much details. Otherwise, this joy thing will go out of this joy of computing.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So let's understand that every definition here is a class. And that is the advantage with Python, that we have it defined as class. Because in other languages, we have to do a lot of interconvergence. Suppose that we must know that what will be the type of the output, possible output. Like if we are dividing 4 by 3, okay. So in Python, we simply write, let me clear this first. So in case of Python, what we do, we will put a equals to 3. Okay, B equals to 4 and C equals to A upon B. This will work fine. Okay. A is type int, B is type int, and C is type. What is the type of C? Float.
Float, sir.
Fine.
Double as well.
And
Can also
yeah, and here we don't need to specifically define what is the type of A, what is the type of B, what is the type of C. It automatically takes. Okay. But when we come to some other programming languages like C++, and I'm not very familiar with Java, I have not used much, but I think with Java also this is the case, that we will have to write int A equals to
Yes,
3,
sir, we have to declare the variables externally and then we have
yeah,
to work. Otherwise,
B and B equals to 4, and then we will have to specifically say that it is going to be a float. Float C equals to A upon B. And if we are not putting float, instead of this, I am putting int. Let's see, I was thinking this
Then the
was,
answer will be 0.
yes, not 0, it will give an error.
no, sir, it will give 0, sir. In Java, it will give 0.
Okay, in case of C++, it will give an error that something point, something was there, like that is not matching with your type. Okay, so error as well as we can have like, and logically also that is an error. Okay, so we will have to take care of these things, and that is why it is very easy in case of Python that we don't have to deal with all these things. Okay, so let's come back to our question. So
And so there will be semicolon, sir. In other languages,
yes,
there
there
will be
is
semicolons.
semicolon. Yes, sorry, I
So
forgot
Python's, I
when
think, so is Python the only language that doesn't use semicolons?
no, Python also uses semicolon. If you want to use, there is no restriction
The
in that.
2 lines in 1 line.
Yeah, and in fact,
Yeah.
I think Sakshar only asked me once, and I had already said you this.
Yes, sir. Means,
Yeah,
but sir, when I tried to means give the semicolon at the end of one line, sir, it was showing an error.
yeah. You don't need that actually.
But sir, if we
Okay.
do more than one lines in one line, then semicolon works fine.
Yeah,
Everything.
in that case. So
Yes.
certainly, if we see this, like when we are putting 9.1, it is we don't have to specify anything. It is automatically getting spread as flow. If we are saying type 1, 2, 4, this is a list. It is directly showing
Sir,
that.
why it is automatically gives the float output?
Uh,
Means,
this is uh, to make it easier for you. Let's say we are putting A equals to 9. Okay. So in line 1 itself, what is it doing is that it is reading that 9 is an integer. It, and if I run this, it will give us an int. Okay. When I put 9.0, it is a float and it will give you a float. Okay. So in that sense, for ease, it is made like this, that you don't have to specifically define. Otherwise, you can go for it and you can define something like int
But if
A
someone writes
equals,
in there, is it any means going to produce any kind of error or anything?
yeah, see
Yeah.
what is
But sir, if I
happening
write
here.
float A equal to 9.0, then I think there will be no error.
Yes. See what happens.
Oh, that means sir, they will not accept anything from
Yeah.
us. They will be doing whatever they want.
Yeah, that is automatically assigned. But yes, you can do a typecasting using this. And you can do something like this instead of equals to 9.0. And in this case, okay, sorry, I am not assigning it back, right? first enter. In this case, it will typecast it. It will get converted. Okay. So int, float, and these things are just an operation here. They are not used to define specific types. Okay. That is taken care in the background automatically. Okay. So the correct answer is int. So moving forward, what will be the output of the following code? And remember, this is something very useful. Remember, we were once talking to convert a list into a string. We were not able to do that, right, using the str command. So how can we do that? This is a list in line A. It is a list. No, nothing here. H, E, L, nothing. Then L, O. Okay. And then we are
Sir,
saying
I
print.
think option C will be the right answer.
Option C will be the right answer. Okay. So what is this function join doing? Not function, I would say method join doing.
It will
I
create
think
a string.
dot he dot h dot e dot l dot o. So I think there will be another dot before h.
Okay. Yeah, Greshma was also saying something. Yeah, please continue.
It will create a string by joining the elements of the list and a dot between them.
Yeah. So it will give, and will it be assigned to something here?
No, sir.
No, it is not getting assigned because we are not putting. And for your confusion, I will also explain what is happening there. That you are saying that at first there should be two dots, right? So let's see.
Yes, sir, I think so.
Okay.
So there
This
was
I
another
think,
dot space before that, sir. Before that h.
yeah, I will put that down there. Here, there is a single dot, and here. Nothing there.
Yes, sir. Now.
So when we are using dot operator, it starts like, remember sep and end. In the case of sep, what happens? It separates not the first one with nothing. It starts separating after the first one. Okay, so this is very similar to that. The first element will be printed, and then it will be joined to the next element. Like, it will not put something at the starting. Okay, that is why it is giving single one.
Means
Because
it is assigned every separation.
yeah, at every separation, not at the beginning, not at the end. That is why after O also there is a no dot, and before the first blank, I will remove that and we will see that also. Okay, there also there is no dot. Fine. So and here in this case, what is happening is that here between these two L's there is an extra, not a blank space, but extra element. So they are being joined with a dot, and that is why we are getting two dots. Clear, Sakshay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what if similarly we wanted to make a string, full string, like we were trying once using the str command. So what will happen? here we can create the whole string. Okay, or to see it more in a more better way, we can do something like b equals to. Okay, so we should not use str command on a list. Instead of that, we should use dot join command. Okay, dot join method. Okay. So in this case, you see, we can create a string out of a list in the same sequence. Fine. Any doubt in this?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. So this will be the correct answer. Third one. And remember, we can use the join method to make string from list. Okay. Now comes, is this change visible to everyone?
Yes, sir. It
Hello.
is.
Like on your screen, you can see problem 4.
No, sir. In screen, I can see problem 3, sir.
Okay, there is some issue. Just yeah. Now I think it will.
Yes, sir. Now I can see.
Yeah. Write a code to replace all vowels with an underscore in a string. Take the input, the joy of computing. Okay, all vowels. So what are the vowels here?
A, E, I, O, U, capital and small.
No,
But here
here.
it is some small e,
This is
small
E
o,
O
small
O
u.
O U I.
U
Yeah.
I. So if we are giving this as an input, we should get something like th underscore, then space, then j underscore y underscore sorry then space, then c underscore m p underscore t underscore n g.
NG.
So how can we do this? Anyone?
So at first we change the string into a list. Then
Okay.
we checking one by one character.
Okay. Let me write that. Okay.
Yes.
Mhm.
We have to take
So
a list of vowels.
So we will say we will convert to list, then
Because
take a list.
list permits assignment, but string is not.
Okay. Then what we will do?
So we have to check each character for I
Yes.
in.
So we
L.
say we will look for I in convert into list L, let's say in L.
Yes.
Okay. Then what we'll do?
If I in L1 means vowel list.
In L1. Then
Sir, if J in L1, it will be okay.
I didn't get what you are saying. The last part.
Sir, yes, sir.
Yeah.
For if statement for J in L1, it will be okay.
For J in L1, but okay. If J in L1, but what is J?
J in L1. No sir, no sir. I will be. I in
Will be there,
L1.
right? Then what we have to do? Anyone else?
Then L equal to L dot replace I comma
I will equal to
underscore I
I
comma
comma.
and in quotes underscore.
Okay.
Yes
So
sir.
can we not do this
Yes.
at without going for this one, this loop?
Yes, sir, we can also do this. We can take a new string and then, sir, we can use s
Why to
dot
create a
join
new we
join underscore.
join? Okay, at last year. I am saying why we are going in loop. Is it necessary to go inside this loop thing? Can we not directly use L dot replace thing?
So can you please repeat? I couldn't hear that.
I am saying, can
Yeah,
we not
maybe
directly use
equal to L dot replace. But
L equals to L dot replace, let's say A
uh,
in quotes, comma, underscore. Will this work? Then
it
we
will
will put,
replace all A by underscore, but we had to replace all vowels.
yes,
Yes.
so then
So we're going to
A,
replace only the
then
lowercase a's, and but
E,
there are no lowercase a's in this string, so nothing will happen. So this is a tedious processor. We can just take all these vowels inside the list, and then so we can perform the work accordingly. If we find any elements matching, then we can use the join function and get this work done.
okay. So here we are going into a loop for the
If we are
whole,
not using replace, if we are not using replace, we can go for the join function. And if we're using replace, then it's even better option for us.
yeah. But even in that case, you are going through a loop of every character. Why we need to loop through every character? Anyone with a solution?
So this can be done in another way as well. So at first we
Yeah.
can take a string. At first we are
Okay.
going to take an empty string.
Hmm. Okay, let's say empty string. Okay, I am putting input is
So
S. Okay, so
okay,
we are
say s
putting
equal to
empty.
the joy of computing, for example, and then
Yeah.
sir we are going to traverse through the string for every and then sir before traversing through the string we can create a list which will be storing uppercase and lowercase a e i o u. For example,
Okay.
a is equal to inside double quotes a e i o u in capitals, a e i o u in
A
small,
equals to okay. Double quotes A
inside
E I
quotations, a e
O
i o u.
U
Yes sir, a e i
A
o
E
u. Yes sir.
I
Sir, all in capitals this time.
O
Yes sir.
U. Yeah.
Then sir,
Yeah.
as we are getting inside, sir, I will be using for I in range of len of s, in range
For I in
of
range of
len of s,
len of
len of
S.
s. Then sir, I will be
Okay.
using x is equal to ord of s.
Or D of
S. Yes, sir. This will be extracting each of the characters individually. And sir, then I will be writing if x in A. If x in A,
or D
colon.
of S.
The
Yes, sir.
ORD means it converts as
ORD of I,
not
sir. Sorry. ORD of I, sir. ORD of I.
Yeah.
ORD
Okay.
of I. So this is going to extract the individual characters. And then, sir, I will be writing if I, if x in A, colon,
So okay.
colon.
I will
So now I will be writing new list dot join underscore new list
new list.
new list. This is a variable, sir. This is not a list. New list dot join underscore outside I will be having to declare new list is equal to empty string,
Uh,
else
Just dot join.
else new list dot join bracket x. New list dot join bracket.
Is it the correct syntax? New list
No,
dot
else
join.
new list dot join of.
It should be something like this. The syntax is wrong here. It should be underscore dot join, and then in bracket you can write new list or whatever you want.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
The syntax is wrong. Okay. Else, what you will say?
Else, sir, chr of x dot join bracket new list or whatever value. Ch of x dot join new list.
Join. But why we are joining new list?
So means I am
Okay,
just wanting to
let's try this. Okay, and then we will discuss the problems also. Anyone else with some idea on this? Yes,
Sir, I
Snehal,
know
please.
the ORD
Wouldn't you
function
what you
converts a character into its ASCII value. So why it works?
No, I am not getting you. What you are saying?
Sir, I know the ORD function takes a character and character or letter, then it converts its ASCII value.
Yes. So why do we need that? Certainly, that this is something which I also want. That why this,
Yes.
and if we need comparison, that is best
So
done in
here I
the
means
native.
one to the length of the string.
Yes.
So every time I
Yes,
will
and
be
that
the integer value,
integer value, and there here we will get an error actually
but I should be the character.
character. Yeah. So this is a problem. Yeah. Snail, you were also saying something. Can you please? Okay. So let's try this.
chr of x in a chr of x.
Okay.
If I have to correct this.
CHR of X in A.
In a, yes, sir.
So the loop can be for I in S
For
instead of
I
range length S.
for
S.
I in S.
Uh,
Yes.
and
Okay.
then the if condition would be if I in A.
If I in A. Yes. This is something a better one. But then we will have to think about this. Okay. Let's do
And
that directly in the code.
instead of join, we should use append.
Hmm. So,
What
okay.
append is for list.
Hmm. Okay.
Achha, sorry, not append. We should be using the plus operator.
Yeah. So let's start with this. S equals to the joy of computing. Right? This is fine. Then we are defining A equals to A E I O U A E I O U. Okay, is this fine? Like I am doing what you people have suggested. I am not putting my mind now. Okay, and then we will discuss what is the problem here. Okay, fine till here. Hello, I'm audible.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so the next you are saying for I in S, and then what we have to do if I in A. This is what you were saying. Is this fine? So what next we had to do? Sakshi,
Yes, sir.
what next we had to do? New list You want a new list, so certainly you will have uh, not new list.
New list n
Yeah.
can be a variable, sir. N is equal
Okay.
to
And
blank spaces. Blank spaces means, sir, opening and
blank.
closing double quotes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So
So
what
we can directly
what will
print it without a list or without a
yeah
new string.
we can directly do that also. But let's say we are storing it into a new variable. Okay. So what we will have to do, Sakshi? You are on mute, Sakshi. Or anyone else. Yeah. I'm not just asking Sakshi. I'm asking everyone.
A dot.
N equals to n plus
N equals to n plus
plus
yes.
uh,
A of I.
I.
underscore or hyphen.
S of I.
Yes, here we will put underscore, right? If it is in it, right?
Yes,
Else,
sir.
Yes, sir.
Else n equal to n plus S of I.
You can just write I, not S of I.
yeah, I will be n
N
plus
equals to n plus S.
equals
N
to
plus I.
yeah, right? And at last we can say we will be printing. Let's say print n, right? Let's run this and see.
Yes.
Yes. So this is fine. Okay. Is it giving the correct answer?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
It is, sir.
But here there is something which we could have done in much easier way. See, we have how many vowels? Five,
Five, sir.
right? We have five vowels, and uh, so total, even if we take five, that is smaller vowels, and five uppercase vowels. So how many total?
N, sir.
10. Okay. And what is the length of this S, the joy of computing? Include the spaces also.
20, sir. 20.
20. Okay. So instead of 20, we are looking like instead of looping 20 times, here we are checking every character, right? Instead of looping 20 times, if we could loop just 10 times, it will make our task easier. Will it be?
Uh,
Sir,
Using
how, sir?
replace function 10
Yes.
times.
We can use the replace function 10 times. So one basic way to do this will be uh, something like this. Okay. Like s dot replace. Okay. Or for our case, yeah, let's put n equals to s. Okay. So that we have n saved and we are replacing. Is this fine?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is a simple way. But if we do it using a loop, we will not have to write it this many times.
Sir, one question, sir.
Yes,
So if I
please.
use a loop, sir,
Sir, each string is immutable, sir, in Python.
Invertible in the sense reverse to
Immutable,
one.
sir. Immutable.
No, it is not. In fact, we are changing it here itself. We are changing the string, so it is mutable.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, someone else was saying something.
Sir, I was saying that, sir, if we create a list of AEIOU, capital and small each time, then, sir, and if we run a loop throughout, means traversing throughout the elements of the list and replacing each of the elements, then, sir, I
Yes,
won't have to write 10 lines. Sir, I will be
yes,
managing with just one line, sir.
yes, exactly. That is what I am saying. That is just to make it easy to understand that I am putting the replace function every time, but I can do this in a much easier way by using as like using a loop. Okay, like for say I in not range, sorry,
Yes, sir.
I in A. Okay, is equal to s dot replace, and here instead of A we will just put I. Okay, this whole thing will be
Yes, sir. Then the rest of the statement's gone.
yeah. So this makes the code less complex, as well as what we are seeing here is that in fact yeah. In fact this itself is the solution. Code is less complex, as well as we are looking less number of times. We are looking just 10 times. Even if we go for very big input like a paragraph also, it will just have to loop 10 times instead of looping through every letter. Okay, so same output, same thing, but different way of doing it. Is it fine?
Yes, sir. Very much fine.
Anyone having any doubt in this?
Sir, I have a
No,
question.
sir.
Yeah. Yes, it's such.
Sir, for example, sir, if we leave empty lines in between the codes, sir, does it create any problem in the compiler? That means, sir, it takes
No,
more time to execute or something like this.
no. First thing, this is not a compiler. This is interpreter. Okay, like which runs codes line by line, and that is not an issue. If we are putting spaces, comments, those are directly no.
No, no, sir, I am not telling about comments, sir. I am telling about blank
No,
spaces. So, for
yeah, like
example,
blank
I
is
completed a function here and then, sir, before starting the
not
next
an
function, I left 5 lines of space. So,
yeah,
those
not
five
an issue.
lines.
The only thing that will change will be the size of your file, the code file,
Yes, sir.
nothing else. And that also will be very less because spaces don't take much space. Okay.
I got it, sir.
So one very simple way will be this, right? And another way will be using a for loop over. In fact, we could have done it very easily. Like instead of this also, instead of A, we can directly even write this one, AEIOU. Okay. And then also it will work fine. Reducing even one more, like reducing one assignment, like one one assignment we will not need here. Okay.
Yes, sir. Even faster.
Yeah. Not much of difference, but here also a, a bit of easier, as well as we will have to like go through less number of iterations, so a bit faster program. Okay, fine. Let's move to this. What will be the output of the given list slicing on a string? So in fact, this is something which we are in a sense revising for one of the classes, like something extra I talked about, slicing and everything on string functions, right?
Sir,
So
this will be the second option, sir. Starting from the space and ending till C. Option B,
okay,
sir.
second B.
Option B.
So uh, joy of computing. Okay, so it is going with 3 and going till 12. Anyone else with any other answer? So if I put the
Hmm.
numbers, yes. Yes, please. Steve, not an issue. Okay. So if I am putting the numbers, what will be the first number here?
0.
0.
0. Then 1, then 2, then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, like that. So 12 is O and this space is 3. So seeing this, should it not be like one space here and then J O Y, then space of, then space, then C O? Will it be this?
No,
As
sir.
12 is there.
Because, sir, last index minus 1, sir.
Yes, last index is
Starting from the
not
same
counted.
index, but ending in last index minus 1.
Yes, so you will be getting only till 11th index, not till the 12th index as it's on here. Okay, so let's run this and see this. So we are getting till C only. If I show it by, it will be better if I show it by copying, right? If I select the text, you will see there is one space here. And if I am starting with 4, in that case, that space will be gone. Okay, it will directly start with J. So even that space is counted, and sorry, in this case, that extra space as well as O will be ignored because it is on the 12th position and we don't count the 12th position when going for this. So whenever such things comes, range and everything, remember that the last number will not actually be included. Clear? Any doubts in this?
No,
No,
sir.
Okay, so let's come to the problem 6. What is represented by this code? S equals to reaching places, A equals to AEIOU, just like we did. For I in range of length S, here we are not looking through A, but we are looking through S. Okay, so this part is very similar to our program, but here we are looking through S, and that also in indexes, not in terms of this, not directly characters. We are using indexes because we are using len of S. Okay, if S dot index S I divided by 2 is equal to 0, then print I. If S I in A, S dot replace it with underscore, very similar to our problem, then and then print S. So what will this be doing?
C.
So replacing
C.
Sir,
vowels in the
option
even
C.
indexes.
C. Okay, replacing all vowels at
Because
even
0,
indexes.
4, 6, 8, these are all even indexes. And since they
Okay.
are being replaced, that means, sir, option C will be correct answer. And
Okay.
A, E, I, O, U are vowels. So we are representing only vowels here.
Yeah. So what will be the output?
Third option, sir.
No, what will be the output? That is the.
This will be R E underscore C H I N G.
Okay.
Then 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then P L A C E S. Yeah.
Okay. So only one E will A will be replaced, right? let's see this. This one we have done. Yeah, this one. So
One more
here
is
there
there.
is, yeah, there is a bit of calculation mistake, is that A is also getting replaced, and here it is not
Sir,
only,
option C will be the right answer.
yeah, option C, I agree, that is the right answer. But what will be the output? That is what I was asking. Okay. So
But sir, then
what,
if A is replaced, then sir, why E is not replaced? I have a question, sir.
see,
Reaching places, say if A is replaced, then why not E?
R is, okay, what I will do is that instead of print I, what I will do is, I
Index
will
starts
even,
from 0. A is at an even index position. E is at an odd index position.
okay, now you see, why is it getting replaced? Yeah, A should not be replaced.
Yes, sir, that is something which I am saying, sir. Because they are in
Mhm.
both are in even positions. With both A and E are in
Yes,
even positions.
so this
Actually,
is,
they are in odd positions, sir, actually.
mm, and S I, I will do, I think I have done it somewhat wrong. Okay, it is, it should be dividing by 2, right? S dot index, and I am taking, hmm,
Sir, I think split screen will be better.
yeah, we can do that. Yes, since there is some difference.
Sir, we have not written S dot index of S of I. That
Yes,
is, sir.
that bracket I. Okay. S dot index S of I. Yeah, one more. It will be
Sir, there will be one more parenthesis.
so if S dot index print I, if S dot index S I divisible by 2. No, this is same now.
Because if in A is repeating, no? So it will if we take index of S of I, then it will show only the first occurrence index.
Yes, there is one thing that is actually not wrong, but you see, when A occurs at the second index, then if you go to line 7, what is happening there?
So, but say S dot index is actually checking the first index position. That is something.
No, that is fine. I am talking about line 7. What is happening there?
So, replacing the current position element with underscore, provided that the previous letter
Current
appears to be the vowel.
current position. Are you sure? Where
The
are you
first
specifying?
occurrence of that letter.
First
Uh,
occurrence, yeah.
but in fact, when we went for the previous question, you saw that when we are using the replace function, it actually replaces all occurrences of that letter, not just the first occurrence.
Yes, sir.
That is why when A is encountered, all the occurrences of A are removed, not just the first. So the correct answer will be replacing all letters at even index. No, sorry, all vowels at even. Replacing all letters at odd index, not the. So replacing all vowels at odd index, not the. Replacing all vowels at even index, not even there. Okay, so answer is going to be C. But one more problem is occurring, that is it is replacing the other A's also. And how can we deal with this? How can we correct this? Anyone?
That means the correct option is option E, sir.
Yeah, but
None of the
how
above, sir.
can we ensure that no other occurrence is removed?
So we can put it into a list and then uh, do that thing and then put the list back into a string.
Mhm.
Sir, dot join function.
But dot join will do what? Is it going like, let's try this, let's try that? It's not like that, right? Say something logical. Why you are saying join?
So because replacing all the occurrences. Sir, if I use that individually, then sir, my program will become bigger. It will take more time, but sir, I will be
If I
getting all
put
the
this,
outputs.
then what happens?
So this will be till from the first index onwards.
No, this is till the first occurrence only.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. I was
Okay.
not at all aware of this, sir.
Yeah. But here also it will have some problems if there was an A before this. If it was, you see, in this case, it is not working. If I am putting
Why is
an
it
A
so?
because it is trying to replace the first A only. Okay. And which is already passed.
Then, sir, means what will be the correct outcome of this? Means how do we
Mm.
correct this one
So,
out?
like seeing this program, certainly C is the correct answer, but we will need some small changes to correct it. Like, let's try that. Not one exactly. And if I am putting it like this, the 2 is not one. If s dot index of si, we can do something like,
Sir, we can
yeah, yeah. In fact, that
create
is
a
why,
temporary string and append the following characters.
yeah, we don't need to do that also. Not an issue. Just a minute. If I is divisible by then of x is divisible by 2. Yeah, and we are placing it. So if I am putting 1, actually it will replace only the first occurrence, which we don't want. So we will have to first uh, s dot replace just a minute. In fact, we don't need s of I. We can directly, yeah, s of I also fine. We can look if s in is equals to s dot replace, and we are not replacing, we will be replacing it once, that is fine. But we will have to start with the position that we have. Okay, so we can say something like this. Till, okay, so it will go till the last position. Yeah. Also, yeah. Now is it correct?
Yes, sir, it is.
Yeah. So what we will have to do is that we will have to bifurcate it. And here, one since only one occurrence has to be removed. Okay, so we will put one. So in case of replace, if you are going just for one or two occurrences to be removed, then you will have to specify that. Okay, otherwise, how many like whatever be the number of occurrences, it will remove all. Okay, and here these two things, like in line 7, you see we are dividing it into two. First, we are taking the part that is before this, and then we are adding the one after this by replacing only once. Okay, and in that case, it will work. Fine. So sometimes you see, seeing this, in fact, it seemed like C is the correct answer, but it was not giving the exact output. And that's why I say many a times that it is not necessary that what we think or what we write will exactly give the output that we were expecting. There will be certain variations. Okay, and it is fine. We need to debug it. Sometimes we need to correct the things on the. Any doubts in this?
No, sir.
Okay. So, I will correct this code a bit so that the question becomes correct. Okay. What will be the output of the following code? Import numpy as np, b equals to np.array 1, 2, 3, 4. It is a two-dimensional array. Remember, a two-dimensional list or array. Here it is called array. Okay. Print np.sum b axis equals to 1. So what will this give?
Option A.
Option A. Why?
So it adds the first element of both the arrays and the second
Okay,
element
so
of both.
1 plus 3 and 2 plus 4. So it is 4 and this is 6.
Yes.
Okay. So what is this axis equals to 1?
So one is for like first element of each array gets added. If you write 2, then the first all elements of first array will be added and put in the first element of the resultant array.
Mhm. Yes. Okay, so let's see this. Okay, so yeah, no, no, I have modified it a bit. Mm. I am putting just two elements for now. And before this, let's see B also. Yeah, remove something it seems. To easily understand it, we will first put print B to see what it looks like. Okay. Okay. So if you are on Spider, in fact, you will be able to look at it easily in the form of an Excel kind of cell where you will on the right hand side. That is why when we go for large number of data processing and these things, we shift to VS Code or Spider. There you will be able to see this all the cells like an Excel sheet 1 2 3 4 like that. And here you see it is giving us output as 7, not as 6 as expected. And this also 3 plus 1 should be 4, but it is giving us as 3. So what is the
That
problem
means
here?
1 plus 2 is happening, sir, and 3 plus 4
Yes.
is happening.
Yes. So 1 plus 3 is not.
So sir, it adds horizontally.
It adds horizontally. And if we do put
It will
axis
add row
equals to
wise.
2, yeah, if we put axis equals to 2, okay.
So there is no second row, sir. There
No,
are
Yes.
only
if
2
we
rows.
put x is equal to 0, then it will add
Yeah.
forward.
That's that.
Sir, means x is equal to 0 means it adds column wise, and x is equal to 1 means it adds horizontally or row wise.
Yes. So there are axis 0 and 1. Okay. So many times we forget that actually there is no 2, like 0 and 1 sphere, right? So if we go by row, if we have to go by not sorry row, if we have to go by column wise, then we will put axis 0. And if we have to go by row wise, like the whole row has to be added, in that case we will go for axis equals to 1. So what will be the correct answer in that case? Then what will
So
be the
the
correct
second
answer?
option, sir.
Second option, that is 1 plus 2, that is 3, and 3 plus 4, that is 7.
7.
So B, 3, 7. Okay.
That means that along the x-axis, the axis will be 1, and along the y-axis, it will be 0.
Yeah, there is no x and y in case of data. It is row and columns, you can say. Axis equals to 1, hence it is row wise, and axis equals to 0 means it is column wise. And if you don't put any axis, then is it possible that we don't put any
Sir,
axis
I
here?
think everything will be added.
Okay.
It will default to axis equals to 0.
No.
Yes,
Will
exactly.
All
As
the
we
elements
said,
will be added.
everything will be added.
Yes, everything will be added. Okay, it will be sum of the whole array, row and column. And in fact, this is something that is very rare. You will need very rarely if you are going for data. You will certainly either going for row wise or column wise. Okay, that is why we mostly go for axis. Okay. Okay, so write a code to take transpose of a matrix. Anyone who knows what is a matrix and what is transpose of a matrix?
Yes, sir, I know. So
Okay.
matrix is a two-dimensional representation of elements in which there are some elements, there are some number of rows and then number of columns. We are going to enter the elements accordingly. And the transpose means that the elements of the rows will go into the position of the columns, and the elements of position columns will be coming to the place of the rows. That means that, for example, an element of 0, 2 position will come to 2, 0 position.
Yes. So we represent matrix using in general mathematics, very similar to list. We represent it using square bracket. So it can be something like 2, 5, 3, 9, something like this. And if we transpose it, okay, so it will, in a sense, you can say that we are holding it
5 will go
on
to
the
the
diagonal.
Shifting elements
Yeah.
in rows to columns, columns to rows.
Yes. So what you can do say is that if we hold it somewhere from here, and if we rotate it, okay, that is the transpose. So it will become like this will go there, 2, 3, and then here it will be 5, 9. So the diagonal elements remain the same. Okay, they are same. Is it correct or wrong? Anyone from mathematics background must be knowing it.
Yes, sir, it is. It is, sir.
This is correct, right?
Correct, sir.
Yeah. So, and similarly for 3 dimensions, and certainly this will work only when we are working with square matrices.
Square matrix.
Yeah, not in not when we are not working with some rectangular or any other form of matrix, like for 2, 5, 3, 5, and 3, 4. There is no something like no diagonal kind of thing. So we cannot ideally create a transpose in this case, I think. Or no, we can create certainly 2, 3, 3, 5, 5, 4. Right? This will be the transpose.
Yeah. Yes, sir, it will be a transpose.
Yeah, that inverse is not.
So inverse is not possible, sir.
Yeah, inverse is not there without this. Okay. So how can we create it? And certainly this inputs will be taken using a two-dimensional array, two-dimensional list or NumPy array, we can say. So we'll be writing it something like this in case of Python. Okay. So we will create a NumPy array of something like this, a two-dimensional list, and then we have to make a transpose out of it. So how can we do that?
We can use transport function in NP.
Yes.
NumPy
So,
module, sir.
Yeah, we can directly use transpose. Like if we have this array, same array as before. Let's put our case only 2 dot 2 and 3 and 8 and 9. Reference. Then we will have 2, 5 and 3, 9. Okay. So there is a function called transpose, and this will work for fine. Any doubts in this? Or there is another way. We can even use dot t.
No, so there is no doubt, sir.
Dot t also transposes it. In this case, we don't even need to use brackets. Like in line 6 earlier, you see we are using b dot transpose and then in bracket, and here we can directly write b dot t and it will transpose. Okay, this is a very useful function used at a lot of places, especially when we are dealing with a lot of data and these things. This is used quite commonly. Okay, next question. Lossy and lossless compression are the same. Anyone knows these terms? Lossy and lossless compression?
No, sir. Yes, I know, sir.
So
Lossy compression means the size of the image
Yeah,
or
Sakshar, let others also speak.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Yeah. Yes, Saroj and Madheshwaran, you were also saying something.
So the previous slide so that I can take this screenshot of this.
Yeah, what you are saying, I'm not. You want to see this slide?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Okay, and yeah, Ilango Madheshwaran, you were also saying something?
Sir, I was saying that the statement is false, sir.
Yes.
Yes,
right. So why is it false?
Sir, because lossy compression losses some of the raw data, sir, but lossless does not loss the data.
Okay. So how is it compression if we are not losing anything? Anyone?
So lossy is
Sir, it
actually
would be
the
like when we say 4 A's, it would say that A into 4. So that way it's shorter but same data.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, very correct. That we can have something like, if something is represented as A, B, B, C, D, E, A, F, G, like this. Okay. To represent this data, if we are going for A to B, C, D, E, A, F, G, like this. So in this case, no data is removed. Everything is there, right? By seeing this, you can understand that there will be four A's. Like this will be equivalent to A, like this. B to B is equal to B. Okay. So no data is actually lost, but yet there is some compression, some saving. Okay. That will be called as lossless compression. But in case of lossy compression, something like if it is not exactly like this, if it is converted to A, B, C, D, E, A, F,
Means
G.
distinct character there.
Yeah. Like sometimes we need to take care that we cannot have very large amount of data. We cannot afford very large amount of data. Like suppose we are transmitting something, like in our video call itself. You see, in many cases where if your network is not fine, you might be seeing me freezing a lot with very low quality of video and everything. And this is done using lossy compression, because there we need to decrease the data. There we need that information should go, but need not be in very good quality, but information transfer is important. In such cases, lossy is done. And in that case, we will have certain loss of data. That means the whole clarity. Like if you see here, it is something like very high resolution, and when it goes to you, it may be not exactly the same resolution that is being shown here. Okay, that is lossy, and in that case, we will have some decrease in quality. But there are some compression techniques nowadays which are being continuously developed, which actually being lossy also creates very good, like replicates very good quality, as well as very less, takes very less space. And there are innovations being done in lossless compressions also, that are actually creating things that has all the data, but in less space. That's why 10, 10 years back, you must have seen that a single movie file of one, like 3 hours, would be something around if you are going for 720p or something like that, it will be something like 2 GB, 3 GB, and now it comes in 600, 700 MBs, and you will find it is in fact of the same quality, and in fact maybe better quality than what we used to see 10 years back. So this is all the way compression helps. Okay, and they are different. Lossy will have lower quality. Lossless will have the same quality as the original one. So it is false. Fine. Saksha,
yes, sir.
you were also saying something, I think.
So,
No,
so
sir.
why
Yes.
are you
Please.
discussing
Whatever I
this
was to say,
question?
everything is already said, sir.
Okay.
So,
Yes,
sir, I
Saroj.
don't
Which
have
is
to say
related
anything
to
else.
it.
Yeah, Saroj, I'm not able to hear you clearly. Can you repeat?
I am saying, sir, why are you discussing this type of questions? Means, sir,
Oh,
which is related to it.
Okay. See, when we are talking of data, okay, and in fact, if you have seen the videos in the class, you must have seen that these things have been discussed a bit. That is one
Yes, sir, yes.
reason. And the second thing is that uh, whenever we are talking about data, these things, compression and these things are very important. You cannot have all the data with you. Okay. Many times, in fact, the whole concept of nowadays machine learning, artificial intelligence is somewhat like you can say compression techniques only. Though many people will say no, it's not like that.
Means we
But
have to take some sample data.
uh, not sample data, so that the original thing, like suppose you clicked a picture of a bird, okay, and that also with a very good DSLR camera that have something like say 108 megapixel or something, okay. So if you see that there is a bird, okay, and if I want to see it in my black and white, not black and white, maybe very simple smartphone of 3 inches, is it necessary to have the original quality of that to see it in this small screen? Yeah, is it
No, sir.
required? Like, no, right? We can have a lower quality of it and it will look even fine in that screen. Okay. Very similar to that. If you have, say, 100 GB or 200 GB of data being generated at your workplace, okay, that pertains to some client and other things. And if you take it into a meeting where you want to show that what actually we are getting out from that data, if you keep showing that thing, that is of no use or no relevance in that sense. And in fact, that is actually very useful data, but not very uh, good to show there. In fact, it will take time and this thing. So some compression takes place. In simple words, you can say we generally present it in the form of graph, equations, and these things. Okay. So when you are talking with data, artificial intelligence, machine learning, in fact, this is what is being done. All those data, like if you have that big data, you will take it and you will fit it into a model and take out some parameters, and based on that you are able to do like prediction and other things. I'll not go that details. Okay. And I have, okay, in next class I can show you some basic code of Python, how machine learning works and these things, so that you will get an idea actually what I am saying. Okay. So compression mostly is something like where you are presenting a very big data into a simpler way, which is appropriate for that like that occasion, or you can say for that work. Okay, getting it? Or I think I have not explained it very well. Okay, this is something that,
Yes, sir, got it. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
okay, so I will try to put one code of it and take some time so that you will be able to understand actually what happens and why we are saying it as
Okay.
compression and these things. Okay. Okay. So what is the shape of this NumPy array? When we are talking about NumPy array, it is something like you can say a table.
3, 2.
Okay. 3, 2. Why 3 first?
Sir, means
No,
2,
it's 2 by
2, 3,
3.
2, 3. And the answer B will be the correct answer.
B 2 by
Sir,
3.
options
Right?
At first
B.
we give row, then column.
Yeah. So in general, in any case, we generally say number of rows first, followed by the column, and this is also called as the dimension of the array. Okay, so here we have 2 number of rows and here 3 number of columns. So it should be 2, 3. Okay, so dimension, or if we put it as save, okay, for this one, you see it is 1 3 because one row, 3 columns. Okay, if I am putting something more, okay, then it will be 2 3, 2 number of rows 2 and number of columns 3. Okay, anyone who is using spider at present, like with,
Yes.
okay, can you do this same thing on your screen and share it? I'm stopping sharing for some time.
By the way, sir, is this
Yeah.
your new MacBook?
No, this I am working on my iPad. Yeah.
Sir, I saw your YouTube video, sir, yesterday.
Yeah, that is a old one. Yeah, I just posted it very late, I think. Yeah, Grace, you can just share and then you can write on it. Not an issue.
Actually, I didn't try to share in screen.
Okay, okay. Yeah. Okay, you have just go to where this call is going on. Go there at the bottom where there is this mic and video, these things. Right? The last one will be something like share, share screen. A
Arrow
square with
symbol.
an arrow. Yeah, arrow symbol.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah. Yeah, if you type it, let me help you. Import numpy as np, and let's write in the next line a equals to np dot array. Array, and then in square, like in bracket, and then in square bracket, a two-dimensional array you can create in random. You need to write a comma between these two square brackets. Yeah. And yeah. In fact, we don't need print also. If you just run this code, run this one. And if you go to variable explorer, where you are seeing the output, there is something called variable explorer just above it. No, yeah, between these two, you see there are small tabs, help, variable. Yeah. Here you can see a variable is created, and if you double click on that, see what comes. Whatever you created here, it went there. Yeah. Yeah. You see, it opens like a Excel sheet table having some values. Okay. And that is why mostly Spider is preferred here, because here you will be able to see when you are dealing with a big data. And in fact, when you are not just creating with typing, when you are taking it from a file and then you are doing some manipulation and calculation on it, it is very easy to see in this variable explorer. Okay. So those who are using Spider can go for this, and you will be able to see these variables and everything. Whatever changes you do, you can directly see there. And in fact, it can even be docked somewhere. I think I'm not very familiar with Spider interface.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is something that is
Thank you
very
to highlight it.
Okay, so you can stop sharing and we can continue. Okay, so the correct answer will be 2, 3. That is, always remember row first followed by column. Okay, so now let's come to our programming assignment. Okay, given a list L, write a program to make a new list to fix indexes of numbers in the list to its same value in the new list. Okay, put 0 at remaining indexes. Also print the elements of the new list in the single line. So we can say that if it is 1, 5, 6, this is L. Okay, so output will be 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 5, 6. Why? L contains 1, 5, 9. So at 1, 5, and 9 indexes of the new list, these values should go. Okay, so now if you put index like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they are there at their respective index. And if there is nothing else, we have to write 0, 0, 0 there. Okay, so how can we do this?
So at first we have to find the maximum element of the list.
Max in L. Yeah, fine. Then
So then the range should be the 0 to the maximum number.
okay, so we can say for I. Okay, let's type here. So let's say L equals to, we have 1, 5, 6. Okay, how will we find the maximum?
M is equal to L0.
L0. Okay.
Also find it using max function.
Yes. So how can we do that? L dot max.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. L
Is
dot
there a
max.
function like this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is this? Is there any
Max
function?
of L.
Max of L. Yes.
So I think it will be max of L.
Yes. They like. Okay, we are not.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Max of L. Then what we will do for I in
For I in
range? Let's
M.
say M, or we could have directly written max of L, but it is fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, if the
Then
input was 1, 5, 5, 6, should the output be 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 10, 6 or 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 5, 6?
it should be like there is nothing like addition is to be done. There is nothing like that. If there are like multiple elements of the same value, then we will have to put that value there. That's all.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So what next we can do?
Next, we have to check if the I is present in the L or not.
Yes. So we will write if I in L, then
So wait. So we have to do if I not in L.
okay, if I
Not in L.
not in L, then
then print I, then print 0.
Print 0. Okay. And in the since we have to print it
yes,
same space and equals to, we can put a single space. Yeah. Else.
Yes. Else print I.
Print I. And the same thing we have to put and equals to. Okay. Right. And let's run this. But it is not giving us 6. Why?
To put m+1.
Yes, m+1. Remember, wherever we want to go, we will have to put m.
Yes.
One more than that. And it is giving us the correct one. So let's put something more, like 3, then 11. Okay.
We should remove 1 comma in the list.
Yeah. Okay. So is this fine now?
Yes.
0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. All occurrences are covered. So now let's come to next assignment. Ram shifted to a new place recently. There are multiple schools near his locality. Given the coordinates of Ram, P, X, Y, like we have a fixed coordinate, like a fixed point, and we are saying, let's say he has a coordinate of 2, 3. We are saying in terms of kilometers or what. Suppose this is the milestone of this new place. Okay, here it is 0, 0. This is the like 0 where it is written 0. Okay, from here in some direction 2 kilometer, in some direction 3 kilometer, like that. And there are multiple schools near him. Okay, like suppose there is a school here, there is a school here, there is a school here, like that. Let's say 4 schools only. Okay, and then now you have to create a function that calculates which school is the closest to him. Every school will also have a coordinate, not in respect to him, but with respect to the origin, like the starting point of the town. Okay, it is at this position, like it will have, say, you can say this one can have something like 4, 4. This one is having like 5, 1. This one say 0, 3, and this one say 1, 5. Okay, so these are coordinates, like these are positions, and all of these positions are with respect to this origin. Okay, the starting of the city. And most of you must be knowing the the distance between two such points in coordinate system is calculated using this formula, underscore square root x2 minus x1. Like to find out the distance between this, it will be 4 minus 2 square plus 4 minus 3 square, and whole thing under root. Okay, using this you have to find which one is the closest to Ram's house. So how can we create a program for this? Anyone? And see, the function should have
Sir,
only
we
3
have
inputs.
to actually, sir.
So I have done it, but one of the test cases failed. So
okay.
I have
this was a
achieved
part of the
80
programming
points.
assignment, sir.
Yes, this was part of the programming assignment.
Sir, I did it, sir, back then. And so actually means what we have to do is we have to take 3 lists, and in the first list and second list we are going to means do those things, and then sir in the last list sir we are actually going to find the distance formula for each of them, and then sir we are going to store them accordingly, and after that we are going to sort them in ascending order. Means we are going to use the sort function, and according to the sort we are going to place the coordinates in that order and display the same.
Okay. And anyone else with any other answer for this? Certainly, the first part is you will take, and with respect to x and y, that is the coordinate of RAM, like 2, 3 in this case, you will find the distance for every school, starting from the first one till the last. So we will loop through it. That is fine. Then we suppose we are storing it in a list L. Then instead of sorting it and going for this, you can even use the minimum function. Like max we use, we can go for min also. Fine. So in the previous code we saw, we used max. Similarly, we can use the min here, and it will work fine for us. Fine.
Yes sir.
Okay. Now let's come to assignment 3. Given a string S, write a program to convert uppercase letters into lowercase and lowercase into uppercase. If it is lowercase, convert it into uppercase. If it is in uppercase, convert it to lowercase.
Swap case functions.
Swap case function. And how can we do that?
So just like we did in underscore, sir, we have to just, sir, at first we have to take the string s equal to input of something, input of enter the string, and then sir after doing that we are going to means for I in s colon, for I in s colon we have to check if s of if I sorry
Sir,
if
we could just say s dot swap case of.
Yes, there is a very easy way. S dot swap case. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, that method is also fine. That when you are going for
yes,
like
sir.
one by one checking, but that is the traditional way we have seen. But if we are going for string methods, there is a simpler way. That is, let's say s we have to take as input, right? Is equal to input, and while taking input, nothing should be displayed, and then we are saying print s dot swap. Yeah. And it is done.
Wow.
Okay. So there are easier ways, or you can go by the traditional way, like comparing if it is in small letters, if it is in or
another
one.
easy process is there.
Yeah, which one?
Sir, but the length is little bit lengthy.
No, like you can tell. It's fine.
Yes.
Yeah,
for
it's fine.
I in
For I in range.
No, sir. For I in S.
For I in S. Okay.
Yes, sir. If I dot is upper.
Is upper.
Bracket open bracket close. Yes, sir.
So we can say then we will put I dot
lower.
Yeah, and we can print.
End is equal to within.
Equals to nothing,
yes,
right?
Yes. So then elif if I dot is lower and print I dot upper
I dot upper.
and is equal to same for the previous one.
Yeah. And then anything else?
Then else
Else.
then
Why
else
else?
print I.
Yeah. Why
So
else?
will
In fact, we could have gone without it also.
yes.
Then, like, why else is my question.
So
Space and other
sir,
special
if
character.
if space is there, then
Yes. And then that is why we have to take care of it, and that is why I removed
yes,
I for the first time to see that
yes,
actually space and other special characters or numbers if they we are giving, we will have to uh, put them as it is. Okay,
yes,
fine.
yes.
Okay. Yeah. So that's all for today. Any other questions related to the problems we solved?
Sir, if you permit, then I can paste my programming 2 assignment code.
Okay. Yeah, you can. You can. The deadline is over or not? The assignment deadline is over.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
No, sir.
then you can. Not?
So assignment deadline for week 11 will be over tomorrow, sir.
Okay. So we cannot share that, right? We
I have
cannot
done the
share the.
programming assignment, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, it is, sir, week 10.
Yeah,
Week
this one
10
is week 10,
assignment
right?
to,
Yeah. So
yes,
you
sir.
can share. If it is fast, then you can share.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions in the meantime? And put my def. Yes, you can do that. Fine. Square root. Yes, for square root we will need math. D
Sir, I
dot
have
keys.
tested it.
Yes, and this is very good that you are creating a dictionary out of it. And this is also
Sir,
good.
but the problem is it should return only one point which is closer to it. If it is
Yes,
2, then it should
then
return
there will
only
be a
1.
problem. Okay,
Yes.
so that is the problem that
So
you are
that's
facing.
why I that's why I'm
Okay,
getting 80 point out of 100.
so what you can do is that you can even do something like you can return a list containing those points. Okay, if it is
Yes.
one position, you can put that as containing one element, and if you have two or three with the same distance, then you can give those two or three as a return, and this will work fine.
Okay.
Okay,
So
so
can you repeat
that's
it?
all.
In which
Yeah.
place I
Sir, Happy New Year.
should correct?
Okay. For
Sir, it's a Bengali New Year, sir. Next week.
okay.
Sir, in this week only. So Happy New Year.
Okay. Fine. Okay. Fine. Happy New Year to you.
Yes, sir. Happy New Year.
Okay. But yeah, what you are asking is that when you are saying that when you are finding minimum, right? So how many outputs you are getting?
I am
Yeah,
getting
Saroj?
only one out.
On only one output, but this can
Yes, sir.
be a key for two or three output, right? Not key, sorry, value for two or three keys. This
Yes,
is
sir. Yes.
possible, right? So you will have to uh, find out, like you will have to create a small loop to find out for which values, like for which keys, this is the value. Okay, and then you will have to do that. In fact, the question asks only the value, right?
Yes, sir.
Not the position in a way. But yes, if you want to improve it, you can do that. That you can create another loop that will find out that for this specific value, what are the keys that are available, and if it is more than one, then you go to return those two, three, whatever is there. And if there is only one, then it's fine. You return that key. Fine. Or
Sorry,
you
sir,
can
I
use the
can't get.
key. Okay, like what are the keys that you are using here? Like in the dictionary, there will be key and value pair. What is the key that you
Yes,
are
sir.
using
Yes.
here? Key is one,
Uh,
two, three, like this
Sir,
only,
key
right?
is the distance.
Key is the distance. Okay, and value?
And value is the point.
Point means I didn't get. Okay, wait. Let me just correct key. So it should be actually the opposite. Key should be the school number, like I. Okay, and distance should be the value.
Oh.
That is why you are getting this conflicting thing. Okay, key like
Okay,
school
okay,
number one,
okay.
school number two, school number three, school number four. These are key. Okay, and the value should be the
Okay.
distance. Then it will make it easier for you. I think you have used it the opposite way. That is why you are getting a bit
Sir, so
confused.
sir, can I put a list in a key in the dictionary?
Yes, you can use.
Oh.
But it is better to go for 1, 2, 3 like that, or A, B, C, D. Okay, 1, 2, 3 will be the best because you can directly use I, like in place of where you are putting D square bracket DIST or DST, I think DIST, right? Equals to I.
Okay.
You just reverse it. You put D square bracket I equals to DIST.
Physical to dist.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
So in that case, you will get it very clear. Like because the school numbers are unique, the distance may not be unique.
So what are the letter types can I put in the key in the dictionary?
You can put any, but it should be meaningful and useful, right?
Yes, sir.
If you put a very big list as the key itself, that will actually not be a very feasible way of doing it, I
Yes,
think.
sir. Yes, yes. So, sir, I can put a list in the as a key in the dictionary.
Yes, in fact, you can put a string. You can put the name
Okay,
of
okay.
the school. Like if you are going for that, you can even have the first value in the list as the name of the school, and you can put there. That is fine.
Okay, okay. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So yeah, thank you all. See you all in the next class.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.